In my opinion, many men are comfortable with postponing activity, but they may feel apprehensive about being perceived as just a friend, which can lead them to feel obligated to initiate romantic advances during dates. I have a theory that many men, myself included, feel pressure to escalate the romantic aspect of dating, for fear of receiving a message expressing disinterest. On a second date, for instance, I may worry that failing to kiss her will place me in the friend zone. This pressure stems not from a strong desire for physical intimacy, but rather from the belief that I must take steps to keep her engaged. What do you think?
When I was young, I was the friend. It was not fair to women to pretend that I didn't have an ulterior motive, and it was unfair to me to torture myself by being an emotional punching bag. I'm trying to be more upfront about my intentions now. It isn't fair to hide what you want from someone, and that's not a healthy relationship. If a woman does not know that you're interested, she assumes you're a friend, and some mean women will use you as a plaything afterward if you don't stand up for yourself. Be honest, be compassionate, don't let yourself get taken for granted, and do not lie to a woman or yourself.
I feel this 100%. With the last woman I dated, I kept feeling anxious to kiss her after a date to establish romantic interest. At some point she let me know she was very attracted to me, but just wanted to take things slowly, and I honestly felt relieved. When we got more and more physical, it felt completely natural every time, and it was awesome. A lot of us definitely feel this socially ingrained pressure to escalate or else we'll fail the dating, and that is dumb. I just want to enjoy my time with someone without feeling like I have to prove something.
This is the whole sexual window concept. Not a fan of it, but there are lots of people that follow it unintentionally.
I've been slow burning with a girl for 5 weeks. She thought I was friend zoning her because it took me so long to admit I was interested. I honestly don't care. If they move on, they move on. I'm not interested in physical right away.
Yep. A lot of first dates don't progress to a second one because women don't experience enough of the emotional response of feeling attraction towards a guy, and this is when they turn around and say, the spark wasn't there, or they just didn't feel it. However, this doesn't necessarily mean you have to kiss on the date. You can create chemistry through your subcommunication, subtle touches, letting your romantic interest be known.
I think the important things are escalation and communication. Unless one or both of you are against physical contact, physical intimacy can be achieved in many ways. There are ways to hold hands or even kiss someone's cheek that are terms of communication. Let them know that you're interested. I've even told women how much I wanted to kiss them but could tell they weren't ready yet. I've never had a woman lose interest because I communicated my feelings.
I mean, you can initiate romantic interest and show you are interested in someone without having with them.
I think men would be a lot cooler with waiting longer if it weren't for assume if a woman isn't hooking up with me after a few dates, she's most likely hooking up with some other dude.
Honestly, I've never concerned myself with this and have had kissed in the first date multiple times. I can usually tell when a girl is leaning that way and when she's not. If she's not, I won't push it. If she is, bring it up in a playful way or start with something smaller rather than a straight up advance. But from my end, it's just about reading body language and listening to her. If she does not want to kiss on the second or third date, then she's not interested. Girls may agree or disagree with me, but it's what I've seen so far.
I recently started dating intentionally, making a dating app profile, following through with dates, etc. To say I am overwhelmed by the speed with which guys expect PDA, etc. is an understatement. I have older friends who have expressed a lot of negative feelings with dating, and I totally see where that can stem from, seeing how people are out here love bombing you so persistently and stopping once they've achieved their objective. After you've put in effort to genuinely connect with the other, would hope there's some way to express this to potential partners in the beginning of dating without making one another feel unwanted.
I think a lot of men experienced a spark on the first date and then things clunk into friendzone after the third. He thinks, damn it, I should have made moves when I had the don't know if. Him not making moves made her lose interest in him over time. Dates can easily feel like buddy hangouts if you're not. She never liked him like that from the get-go, and him making moves sooner would have just pushed her away is a philosophical question that can't be tested unless you have a time machine.
Quite the opposite for me. The sooner he pushes for, the more I pull away. I don't want to kiss on the first date. I need connection before intimacy.
My experience is that if I make a move fast, the women will be upset I didn't take things. I take my time. she'll be upset I didn't make a move faster.
As a woman, I have never heard this sentiment echoed by other women, only men on Reddit. The problem is, it's impossible to know whether you got rejected for not escalating to or not. It's also highly possible that a woman being less open to is a sign of not being as interested. But your title and body are saying two different things. I agree that if after maybe 3 to 4 dates there's no sign of romance, many people would lose interest. I think is a whole different issue though.
From my experience so far, anytime when I want to take it slow and explore friendship into relationship, it never works out. Sadly, the only success I have found is to be aggressive on physical intimacy and figure out the emotional part later. A lot of women on this subreddit complains about why don't more guys do this ideal courting, but it only works less than 1% of the time. So what do guys do? They try out a different strat which sadly have way better hit rate.
I always go for a kiss on the first date. I'm not going on a date to be your male girlfriend. I'm there to build all romantic tension. Most girls, if not all, have loved it when I go for a kiss because I've taken the lead and shown them my intentions.
I think old almost requires the male to have, or at least attempt it, by date 3, even if you aren't sure about the future status of the relationship. If you miss any cue, there is the possibility you are blocked. If you are too much a gentleman, you risk a result. I definitely will sleep with a woman even if I would have preferred to wait and break up with her after if I'm not feeling it with little remorse. I cannot set or control the game and have to assume that this is the rule lest I not follow it. It's a lowest common denominator problem, for which the only solution is to assume promiscuity of every posted about this in the past and have been ghosted or blocked because I waited too long when I first started old after my LT relationship ended. I was so idealistic that I had a 30-day seasoning rule for myself that I quickly realized was poor strategy in today's world. This is the reason why so many women are complaining about being ghosted. Some of your compatriots are driving the rules of engagement whether you like it or not.
Could you elaborate, please?
I was really into a guy but I struggled to show affection and show interest. I come off as shy but I went on 3 dates with this guy and the guy never tried hugging me or kissing me. If he would have done it I would have went with it, but he never made the move. I DK if it's because of me or because he was also shy.
Yeah, it's really hard to separate the fuckboys from the regular guys trying to build connection if having early on is the goal for most men, because it looks the same to us.
4th breakup in a row due to moving too painful each time, and it makes dating wholly unenjoyable to connect with people and it being thrown away casually just because I want to make sure whomever I'm dating is not a psycho before making out.
Greater than I have never heard this sentiment echoed by other women. It'll sound like asterisk, he wasn't really attracted to me.
Just as Op said, there is a lot of pressure to pursue by the 3rd date from both folks call it a window timeframe. It is incredibly dumb, but there is some unfortunate evidence to support. Quick Google will do a better job elaborating than I can.
The idea is that you have to sexually escalate as quickly as possible because there's an unknown time limit where you'll mess things up with the girl. Basically, at some point she'll friendzone you or think of you as too shy, cowardly to make a move or as not interested in her. Or she'll get into take things slow mode.
Most might not be, but I've been the guy a woman has made wait while banging another dude who was less emotionally available a couple times. And I haven't dated very much in my life. So it's still a legitimate concern, especially for men who've encountered that this isn't about casting judgment on the woman, just that the man's feelings are valid and should be considered from where he's sitting. Remember, none of us have perfect information on who we are dating.
Greater than personally I don't have until at least 5. When I do hook up it's with people on the opposite spectrum of who I'm actually engaging in dates with. This is why men just roll their eyes at the first statement nowadays.
Woof. I hope I'm never the guy waiting for 5 dates for a girl who is banging random dudes she met on Tinder on the side.
Well, you may not, but others do. That's why it's really important to be upfront that you're seeing other people after a couple dates. And it's equally important for the other partner to say that they prefer not to date someone who is seeing others while getting to know each other. There's nothing wrong with taking it slow, but it's an instant pass for me if I found out you're sleeping with other people and we've been going on dates for a month.
Well, I'm not saying the way you are is wrong. I get being shy. But put yourself in his shoes. If maybe he doesn't sense a lot of interest, it's a risk to go for a hug or a kiss when you're not sure if he's interested or not. Maybe you can try and let him know you're shy or that you're interested. I understand that it's hard, but you can ask for a hug.